Hey, jury family, welcome to Court Chronicles. I hope you guys are having a wonderful hump day. Hopefully, your week is going better than mine. I had an amazing yesterday, talked to an amazing jury member, went to the post office, got stuck in traffic, but then just had a crazy day thereafter. But God is on the throne. Welcome, y'all. With so much going on in the United States as far as politics, I wanted to take a moment to escape. And I feel like there's so many YouTube channels that show travel, but don't really give the tea. It's just kind of the high pitched voice with the dramatic music. But I want to tell you guys how to Bali on a budget. I mean, I'm talking five-star resorts. I'm talking about the whole shebang. And y'all know I'm very honest. I'm not related to the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds or Trump. I'm a regular citizen working hard, but I enjoy luxury travel. So let's go to Bali. Everybody's fussing about politics, the economy, the mass deportations, the tariffs. There are a myriad of things that occupies the United States constituency's attention, rightfully so. But I just want to remind the jury family, like the world is big, and when it's time to escape, there is a way to do it. Do it in luxury, do it in style, and do it in a manner that does not break the bank. So, y'all, let's dive in to the travels to Bali. Hey, April. Hi, there's one of my moderators. Hey, April Coleman. Hey, Umina. That's a pretty name, sis. That's a beautiful name. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, before I start the presentation, can you guys let me know if you could hear me? And can you let me know if the background music is okay, if it's too loud, or anything like that, so I could adjust the audio before we dive in and we start to explore Bali together. And just put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if the background music is okay. And if it's not, just let me know, guys, and I'll turn it off. I don't mind. Whatever suits the jury family, I will do. Okay, I don't see any ones. I see one. There's Mia. Okay, so Mia, you guys can hear me? Perfect. Background music, okay? Because I just don't want to go through a whole presentation if it's too loud or anything. Perfect. Okay, y'all, let's dive in. Let's explore Bali. So I went to Bali back in September on a trip, and I had the absolute time of my life. I had so much fun. I was gone for about 5 weeks throughout Southeast Asia. And full disclosure, I traveled for a month and lived in luxury and still spent more than I spent in 1 month on my bills in Los Angeles. So I made it to Bali. Super, super excited. Made it to Bali. And for the next 2 weeks, Bali will be my life.
Yeah. And one more. Okay.
So, y'all, first things first, the people in Bali are super kind. And I'm always honest, it's amazing when I travel out the country, I am treated way better than I am ever treated in the United States of America. Because once you leave the country, you are viewed simply, hey, Caramel, hey, sis. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to see you up in the chat. Hey, girlfriend, I missed y'all too. And now, look, Chronicles, this year is the year of travel for us. Y'all, so when you travel, like in the United States as a dark-skinned woman, one of the things in Los Angeles is everyone likes to feel like they're better than people. So they, turn their nose up, and because of the extreme hate toward beautiful, chocolate, melanated sun goddesses, people like to, walk past you, act, oh, I didn't see you, all that, microaggressions. Which y'all know Court Chronicles is aggressive, so I call people out. But when you're out the country, people are polite, they're kind, and your status as an American citizen, they don't look at the distinction like we do here, Black American versus white American. They're just like, oh, this is American. They generally assume that you're wealthy, which is, not true. They don't understand we save like everyone else, but you're treated with respect. People are kind. So first things first, when you travel, the resorts are cheaper. So on the websites, a lot of times you'll see the conversion rates, but like I like to stay in different resorts on each side of the island. Instead of staying in one resort for like 14 days, I'll do 4 days, 4 days, 3 days, and go to totally different sides of the island. So I started out in Ubud. Ubud is central in Bali. That's the jungle. And I had the time of my life. Y'all saw the resort. The resort, I think, was about $40 a night. And I booked it looking on orbits. And what I do when I go travel, if I find a resort or anything I like, I usually start on orbits just because it's easy and they have a whole list. But I search everywhere to get the cheapest rate. And another travel hack is I always make sure it includes, the breakfast, because breakfast abroad is, when I say a full layout, is beautiful. And also as far as money you're saving, because you get a big, beautiful breakfast. And guys, that was the Four Seasons when I went to the Four Seasons. Let me see if I could just slow down the show. So that's the Four Seasons. I didn't stay at the Four Seasons, but I went to go have dinner and lunch at the Four Seasons. So that's another travel hack. When you travel, you don't have to stay at the resort that costs $10,000 a night, but you can go have dinner, tapas, breakfast, or brunch at that resort, enjoy one of the shows. And once I left the Four Seasons, I later saw that was the #1 resort in the world. But literally, I started at a restaurant right here. And then I said, what's that thing behind me with that big circle? And the guy said, that's the Four Seasons. I met a young lady from Georgia who had just took the bar. And me and her was like, hey, we want to do excursion over there. So we called a Grab, which is the Uber internationally, and went over to the Four Seasons. So once we get to the Four Seasons, y'all, it's beautiful. And the guy tells us, hey, you guys are right on time for the show. We didn't even know they were going to have a show. So he told us about the different restaurants. We told him about our dietary palates and, being a vegetarian, vegan. Bali is a big vegetarian country. So it's easy to eat super good. Also in Asia, you can eat really good as a vegetarian. So we go over to the Four Seasons. Caroline, she's a young, I keep saying girl, but she's a young woman from Georgia. I'm a Black woman, but what we noticed instantly when we got to the Four Seasons, everyone was like 60, 70 years old. And me and her had just met, but we made a pact like, hey, let's not wait until we retire to see the world. And y'all, of course, we started feeling ourselves at the restaurant. We was like, oh, let's splurge. Let's see what one night at the Four Seasons would cost. Maybe we just split it and splurge since it's so nice. Y'all, we looked up the price. We started at $3,000 and we were like, we're going to eat this deal slow, this meal nice and slow, and enjoy the show. But we're not dropping no 4 bands. But we still was able to enjoy. And when we went there, people were so kind, so welcoming. Not like the U.S. When you in the U.S., you walk into a Gucci store, a Louis Vuitton store, as a deeply, richly melanated woman, people turning their nose up, looking like you can't afford it, this and that. I'm looking at them like, bro, you can't afford it either. Like, stop the gap. But when you travel, you're embraced and welcome. People are kind. I'm sure they deal with racism. I'm not oblivious. And I understand when I travel, the blue passport, the U.S., changes the way people perceive me. But I'm just being honest. I get treated so much better out the country. Like, I literally, most of the time when I land, I have tears in my eyes, like sad to come back to the United States. So let me play the show so you guys can see some of the show we caught in Bali. That was absolutely beautiful. And the meal was like $20 and we still ate good. We ate really, really good at the Four Seasons. And this is the Four Seasons. When you walk down, you see how it's the open bar with the jungle. It was just absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And at the top, this is the very top where I'm sitting, is before we walked in. But this was the pool we saw from the other restaurant that made us want to come. And as we walk down into this bar, it's beautiful. The wood is like this Italian stained wood. And And this is our meal, all vegetarian food, all vegan dishes. I think that was some fish and some marinara sauce, veggie tapas. It was just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And when you travel, people are friendly. They're like, get pictures here. So they help you take pictures. So we happen to catch, some of the Balinese geisha dancers doing their traditional dance at the Four Seasons. They hit the big gong in preparation for the show. Then this was upstairs at one of the restaurants, but we went downstairs to have dinner on the lake at the Four Seasons, and it's called the Four Seasons Sayan, Sayan. And we were able to basically luxuriate. I mean, we ate good. We experienced the Four Seasons. They invited us to the tour. And the pool is pretty much insanity. So I got the day pass to come, and I didn't even know they had like the meal included. So how fabulous. But check it out. It is paradise. It's in you, bud. Girl, I'm hanging out here at this pool because I wanted to really do a fly ass pool. So you should consider getting a day pass and coming. And that was a video I sent to Caroline. Once I discovered the day pass pool. And that's called Wanna Jungle. So I had looked up the best infinity pools, again, a 5-star luxury resort that's out of my budget, but we got a day pass on a website called Klook, Klook. That is the international version of Groupon. So whatever's on Groupon, Klook has half the price. So I was able to go to one of the world famous infinity pools for $20. I'm thinking that's a good deal. I get there, they're like, oh, by the way, it includes a meal and 2 cocktails. I'm like, oh my goodness. That's why I sent Caroline, the girl I met, and said, oh, you got to come check this pool out. This is crazy. So we hung out at the Wanna Jungle pool. Also, I went coffee tasting, which was pretty fabulous.
Coffee, vanilla coffee, and avocado coffee.
So I tried various different types of coffee made out of mushroom, coconut, and it was a cool experience, super cool. And everywhere you go in Bali is a, infinity pool overlooking the jungle. I went to go see how they make the coffee, which was really, really cool. I did a day pass tour and saw sites. The day pass was like $30 and it was for 12 hours. And they drive you around, take you to lunch, take you to these different locations. So I saw how they make the Balinese coffee from scratch, and it was amazing. So again, just another beautiful restaurant. The food was just okay here, but the ambiance was outstanding. And here's another shot of the Wanna Jungle pool, because we started off as novice, but by the end of the trip, we were like VIP at the pool because we had went 3 days in a row. The pool was everything. And I didn't show the full thing, but it's cabanas behind me because I took the picture of the pool. But it was absolutely amazing. Such a vibe. And then the 2 drinks plus the food. And for me, the 2 drinks, I would get them and just give them away to someone like, hey, girl, you got a cute swimsuit. Here's a cocktail. And when I say the food is good, it's not like, oh, just bar food. No, these are veggie burgers, fresh avocado, mango on the side. And remember, the day pass for the pool was only $20 and included the meal, drinks, everything. The first hotel that I stayed in was in Ubud. Ubud is in the central part of Bali. Also, I stayed in Simaya. I always mess up this name. Simaya, Bali, which is more of like another Ubud, but more clubby, more busy. Well, I don't know. It's busy in different ways. Ubud is like New York. Simaya is like Miami Beach. Even met a friend, a workout buddy that owned a dress shop. Ended up doing a whole Balinese commercial. I got that outfit from Bali. Just had a beautiful time. I went swimming every single day. I ate super good. The money conversion is confusing at first because it's like 100,000, 200,000 rupee, but that's due to inflation. But once you do the conversion, the meals are like $7 and $8. Because at first you're like, oh my God, I need to slow down and calculate. Very, very affordable. Very affordable. Each day you may spend $30 on a meal, if that. Seriously. And for getting around, the international version of Uber is called Grab. Grab is amazing. You can get a bicycle ride, a scooter ride, a motorcycle ride, a car ride, or a van ride. So you get to choose. Because in Bali, a lot of the Grab people, you can literally catch a motorcycle and be like, oh, I need to go X, Y, and Z. And you'll get off the ride and be like $2. You're like, what? And Bali has some of the best spas in the world. You get a day pass for a spa for $25, and you're in a spa getting massages, foot massages, back massages, overlooking the jungle, champagne if you want it, food, all of this. And you are not spending lots of money at all. And usually I would be so full from breakfast because the breakfast was huge that I didn't, it would be lunch, dinner. But when you travel, you know how you excited to moving about with a big, big breakfast, because their breakfast in other countries is very next level. It's like breakfast and lunch. And they have so many different options, tacos and fried rice and veggie stir fry, plus your fruit assortment. Bali had really, really good papaya, mango. Their pineapple was not as sweet. Thailand pineapple was super sweet. But they had excellent mango, excellent fresh avocado. And it's not like the US. They don't nickel a dime and upcharge you for everything. If you want extra avocado, fine. It's not a big deal. I had the pleasure to go visit some of the temples, but I'm Christian unapologetically. I serve Jesus. I'm so flawed, but I still rock with Jesus, and by His grace, He rocks with me. So some of the temples I couldn't go in because they require you to bow to their statues, and I don't do that because that goes against idolatry. But I still got to see it on the outside.
Bali, Indonesia. This is beautiful. They've been using this irrigation system for thousands of years.
So I went trekking in the rice pads. Y'all, these rice pads are huge. So if you ever go to Bali and you want to go trekking through the rice pads, do not be like me. Don't let these few pictures fool you. My feet were done. Please wear some tennis shoes. I thought it was going to be a cute little walk. No, this was a full-blown hike that I did in some flip-flops with rhinestones on it. So I was really like, whew. And once I got into the trail, because of how it's made, you can't really turn around. You have to keep going. But it was worth it. It was worth it. Absolutely beautiful. And this was all included in one of my day pass trips.
Hiking through the rice fields in Bali. I got lost on the trail, but I'm back on track. I can do it. Woo! It's
so super beautiful. This day trip, we went to go see coffee, how they make coffee. We went to the rice trekking. He took me to a temple. We also went to this like fruit ice cream stand where it's homemade fruit and ice cream, which was really, really cool. So when you travel, all the Instagram spots, you can look on Klook and they literally have like things that say Instagram, photo tours. But I just chose tours of things I wanted to see. So I did the whole day pass tour because I like to just do one event per day. If that's a restaurant or a tour, I don't like to occupy my whole schedule so I can spend time kicking it too. But the day I did the tour was so fun. because I was on the tour by myself initially, and my tour guide, y'all, he spoke Balinese, Spanish. Then he shocked me because he saw some white people. He overheard them. He breaks out into full Dutch. He was a full blown polyglot, spoke like 5 languages. I mean, I was so impressed. I was so impressed. And that's again the Wonder Jungle Pool, one of the best infinity pools in the world. It's so big I couldn't even get it in the picture. It's like 5 layers. But I mean, I got my life. I started off as a novice. By the end, we were VIP. They was like, Miss April, more pictures, take the cape off, twirl around. Like they was hyping me up in everything. Nothing like the US. All the servers out there cheering if I got a good picture, like make you feel like a star, just having a good time. I also went to Karangasam on the far east of Bali, and you could oversee the volcano, the ocean. It was much more quiet.
Welcome.
Susama.
Thank you.
And that's at the end. At the end of my trips, I always like to stay in a luxury hotel the last 2 or 3 days. That's my splurge. And even the Intercontinental was not a splurge per se because it wasn't that expensive. It was like $115. That was the most expensive, and that's $115 in the United States. You're gonna be at the Motel 6, and they're gonna have you rent the room by the hour. But the Intercontinental Bali was close to the airport, so on my last day of the trip, I do luxury and I stay at a resort close to the airport because I don't like the stress of hustling and bustling. I want to be 10-15 minutes away from the airport so I can get, in and out without any issue, enjoy my last day without any issue.
It's my last day on my holiday. It's been 30 days. I ended on the Intercontinental. It's a beautiful hotel. I mean, it's stunning. And I just wanted to do my last walkthrough to capture kind of the beauty of everything. I'm talking like I'm on a travel blog. It's from my personal. I mean, the hotel is beautiful. It's a huge resort. It's like 5 restaurants, a spa. It's beautiful. Kindly refrain from playing the piano. I guess the piano for decoration, or maybe the professionals. But just showing how beautiful this hotel is as I get ready to leave. Oh, the Asia Oceania Congress Group. Oh, that must be the snooty Asian dudes I saw earlier at brunch. Yeah, they came through super snooty, nose in the air. Learned a lot about Asia on my Southeast Asian tour. But definitely had a beautiful time. Had a safe trip. God covered me. Traveling, alone. I met a lot of friends. Did a lot of cool stuff. And now it's time to go back home and get to it.
Bali.
And I felt the hotel, not even thinking I would do a travel vlog, but I was like, it's so pretty. Let me just record on my last day some of the hotel, the Intercontinental, and some of the views. So y'all, with traveling, give me 1 second, y'all. I want to turn off the volume on the presentation. So travel hack, y'all. Let's get into some of the tips because I want to give y'all the tea with traveling. First things, when you get your flight, I always tell people, whenever you get your flight, to make sure, and I know this sounds crazy. 1 second, let's get that back up. But when you get your flight, y'all, what I always tell people is get the cheapest flight with the longest layover. And if you get it with the longest layover, usually you'll end up 48 hours in another country. I had on the way to Bali, I had a 48-hour layover in Bangkok. So I got 2 days in Bangkok on the house.
So I made it to Bali. Super, super excited. Made it to Bali. And for the next 2 weeks, Bali will be my life.
Yeah.
So whenever you travel, most people try to get the direct flight. I would say don't do that because you can get another country in on the house. Because when the airline does a 48-hour layover, they pay for your hotel too. So you'll end up somewhere random. And I think my options were Qatar or Bangkok. And I decided to go to Bangkok. I didn't want to go to Qatar for my layover and had a blast. I've been to Bangkok before. I enjoy Bangkok. They have some of the best restaurants, like rooftop restaurants. So anytime you travel, the cheaper ticket is actually better because you get that long layover. My first time I realized this was when I had a 72-hour layover in Dubai and they paid for the hotel years ago. And I was like, wait a minute, people don't know this? Like, this is clutch. So get the cheapest ticket. Look at those very long layovers that you generally hate, but when you're traveling, you don't mind, depending on how much time you have. But get that flight because the airline covers that when you have those layovers that are 48, 72 hours for connecting flights with different international airlines. So it looks like you balling, but the truth is you literally got the cheapest flight and they balance in. When you go to Asia, a lot of times they have layovers in the Middle East. So I would say it's like a 50% chance you'll land in Dubai because that's one of their hubs once you get, outside of the United States. So that's a travel hack. That is a travel hack. Also, when you travel, if you have your passport, order a passport card. The passport card is like $55. It can't get you in and out of the country, but it works as like an international ID. So you don't have to carry your passport on you. So you can leave it in the safe at the hotel and not worry, but you'll have your passport card. So that also helps. That's number 2. Get the extended layover. Let them cover, your hotel and sneak in another country. It'll be somewhere you probably never even planned on going. Super cool. And get your passport card. So when you are out and about, because you are American, please understand that passport is worth a lot on the black market. You can leave it in the safe and you'll just have your card with you to pull it out if you need it. Because the US IDs, aren't as helpful when you're in other countries. They have different languages and different letters, So also a third travel hack, and this one is so simple, but it matters. Learn how to say thank you in the local language. So I think you guys heard me say susama, and it's thank you in Balinese. When people hear that you're from the US and they hear you try to be polite in their native language, they start to treat you like royalty. Because usually Americans are so haughty when we travel, we don't try to learn. And people are excited, especially a language like Balinese, and they start talking to you more, giving you free stuff. Learn how to say thank you in the local language and hello, of course, but just thank you for the pleasantries. And you will notice how people perk up and change towards you and talk to you more and show you stuff. It's like it breaks the ice. It's something super, super small, but it breaks the ice. So I think that's the third one. My fourth one, in addition to thank you, is patience and kindness. Things do not go as planned when you are out the country, but people are generally very accommodating. So when you are showing patience, like in the US, they don't care. They're like, whatever. The corporations run the US. We all gonna give us your money. We could treat you bad. We could throw you out the store. We could say no black folks, no Asian folks, no this and that. Guess what? We still gonna go. There ain't no code in the US. But in other countries, when things are going wrong and you are patient, they appreciate your patience. So they'll comp your food. And not even any, it could be something like, oh, my room is supposed to be ready at 3. It's not ready until 3:30. And you're like, okay, it's no worries. And once you say that, they're like, well, you know what? Let me walk you to the restaurant. We're going to comp your such and such. And here you go. Just from simply being patient and kind. Because the truth is, you ain't in a hurry to go nowhere. You're on vacation.
Kakao, ada kopi, susu mati,
Look at all the different coffees I tried.
and avocado coffee. Sorry for the Bali coffee and cacao without sugar, yeah?
And I ended up buying some of the avocado coffee, coconut coffee, different coffees to send back to my mom because my mom loves coffee. So I sent her different types of coffee. They had like rose coffee and everything. So saying thank you in the local language, patience and kindness. I'm telling you, people observe you. Yeah, I thought I was making coffee.
Keep roasting the coffees.
Mama making coffee. So extreme patience, extreme kindness. Don't constantly say, well, in America, just appreciate the people. And when I say that kindness will take you so far, we got so many upgrades just by being nice. And it'll be simple stuff that doesn't matter, like, oh, the restaurant, you have to wait 10 minutes and your, reservation was for this time, but it's 10 minutes delayed. And you're like, okay, no problem. And then some other Karens over there, let me tell you, they will walk you to that VIP table, give you champagne. Because on vacation, I'm always in a good mood. I'm like, it's no biggie. It's you can't control, the wave, the sail, but I can control how I behave on my boat. So extreme patience and kindness. Travel hack number 5, and I talked about this. The Klook is the international Groupon. Caroline, who told me about Klook? Oh, some ladies I met in Singapore. They told me about Klook. They had just did a cruise around Australia, Vietnam, Halong Bay for like 30 days. And they told me about Klook was the cheaper Groupon. So I got on Klook to get my day passes for these events. And it's like $18, $20, whereas the US website is like $30, $40. Being super kind, literally went into this dress shop. I didn't see anything that I wanted initially. But me and the young lady, we started talking about working out because she was like, oh my God, you're so skinny. I'm like, really? I'm like, no, you look good. So she's a gym rat. I'm a gym rat. And then once we talked about being vegetarians, we hugged like sisters. We were laughing. And she was like, well, here, let me show you this bag. She went in the back. She showed me all this cute stuff. Her son is just like a little teenager. He looking at us scream like girls like, look at this. That's my favorite color. He's like, fine, I'll take the picture. She ended up giving me some free bracelets. And I'm like, well, no, I can't take this for free. I went back to my hotel and brought her a whole thing of different scones and muffins, just show her love because it was right next door. And when I say every time I walked past her shop, she gave me something free, and I did not, and I would try to pay her, she wouldn't let me. I was like, I can't take this for free. But she was like, you're my sister, you're my sister, you're my sister from another mother. Me and her talked about working out, just being friendly, being kind, being gracious. And anytime I see women with shops abroad, I always talk to them and be like, hey, I'm a woman entrepreneur also. So, hats off. Like, it's very, very challenging for women all over the world to be entrepreneurs, but we make it happen. And when I say that's my sis from another mother, like we talk on WhatsApp and everything, just all from being kind and going to her shop. So y'all, please, kindness, being gracious. And if people stare when you out the country, in the United States, they be darn shady. But when you out the country, they literally are staring because a lot of times they never saw Black people. And they'll be like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Like, they be treating you like you're a supermodel. You're like, I do not get this type of love in the United States, boy. I mean, literally, even the couples, because she was married and her husband, when I left out, saw me and was like, oh my God, she's beautiful. Where is she from? And it wasn't anything nasty or nefarious. It's not like U.S. relationships. Why are you looking? None of that. So it was really, really cool. He was like, oh man, she's so pretty. And he was like, she's beautiful like you. She'll look good in your clothes. So when I came back, she was like, my husband said you're so pretty. And it wasn't anything, nefarious, because you know how the United States can be with stuff like that. But just very kind. Very, very kind. Tip number 7, I think I talked about, is the Grab, the international Uber. Don't use Uber out the country. Uber will rip you off. You could get a Grab ride for $3 and $4 all around the country. So download Grab and use that instead of Uber. And Grab is in, at least it was in Thailand, Singapore, and it was in Bali. And in Bali, they even did the motorcycles and the mopeds, which I was like, I didn't even know you could catch a ride on a moped, but that was cool. I was with it, like, let me try something new. So they loving it. You know, my Grab driver, he was like, I'm gonna take you to scenic route. I'm like, whatever, you just want to show me off. I know the drill. Men are the same everywhere. He started laughing so hard because he driving past his friends all slow, waving like he in a parade with me and another girl. Oh, he was so like smiling so big. I'm like, whatever, get your life. So we laughing. We are laughing and just having a good time. Tip number 7, I started off talking about this. Go find the 5-star #1 resort in that country and go have dinner, lunch, or one cocktail, one dessert, one appetizer, just so you can enjoy the ambiance, take in the scenery, so you can definitely luxuriate. Say you've been there, you don't have to stay there, because sometimes people, I ain't got the money. Okay, that's fine, but I'm sure you got the money to go get a cocktail and some French fries or a salad, so you could enjoy the resort. And when you're out the country, if you tell them I'm not staying here, but I wanted to come, they'll give you tours and everything. It's not like the US. They're excited, to show you the resort and tell you about the shows. So definitely don't limit yourself when you travel. Don't tell yourself you can't afford it. Look up the menu, see if it's something on there you like okay, I'll get me a little appetizer, I'll get a taco, cocktail, or whatever, and go luxuriate. And how we ended up at the Four Seasons checking out that show. Unexpected. One of these traditional Balinese dance shows, which was super cool. The one at Jungle Pool, like, listen, I want to cry. I want to go back right now because I'm so tired of the United States. And again, you notice all these meals are very affordable. I mean, you getting high-end meals, $10 with dessert, pistachio ice cream, fresh raspberry. Because Bali has creative combos with their food. When I tell you, and I don't know if they just like the melanin, but everywhere I went, people was like, where's your phone? You need a picture. You need a picture. I got thousands of pictures. I didn't have to bug
Bali,
anyone.
Indonesia. This is beautiful. They've been using this irrigation system for thousands of years.
So, guys, and the rice trekking was also all a part of that day because we started that day when we did the tour at like 7 in the morning, and I didn't get back until after 7. We went to 5 different spots. We was in the car for hours going to the different temples because things are a little further apart. And listen, driving in Bali, listen, that's not for the weak. You really got to be a strong soul because that traffic in Bali between the motorcycles and mopeds, I would be scared to drive there. Now look at the rice fields. They were so beautiful.
Hiking through the rice fields in Bali. I got lost on the trail, but I'm back on track. I can do it. Woo!
And let me get a disclaimer again. The outfit is cute in the pictures, but I was underdressed. I should have had on some shorts, some socks, hiking. People had umbrellas, hats. Yeah, but I didn't see any grocery stores. I think everyone goes to the fresh markets to get their food. But you can stop anywhere, get some fruit, everything for like $1 on a budget. Tip number 8, if you are staying somewhere longer, if about 7 days or longer than 5, I would say don't stay on the same side because, Indonesia is a big country. So literally some of my resorts was like 100 miles apart. But that was okay. It's a car ride. You driving, see the ocean, you see the temples. And I got to go to Ubud, the central, the jungle, Simayat, the beach, Karangasan, the beach with the volcanoes on the east, and then Jabaran, which is in the south near the airport. So I was able to pretty much see all of it. And each one of those locations were about an hour or 2 hours apart. But 3-4 days here, get in the car, you see the beaches, the temples on the way. It was all fun. And again, I did my Grab. One of the rides from Ubud to Karangasan was 3 hours. And that's Karangasan right there, where the volcano, in the back, That Grab ride, I think, cost $30. To the point where I was asking the guy, is this right? Because I'm not here to rip anyone off.
Susama.
And they don't say Intercontinental when you first walk in. And y'all, he was so nice when I first got out the taxi. He saw me. He was like, no, get back in, get out. Okay, now get out. And then he hit the bong. So super, super kind. Tip number 9. Y'all, convert your money before you leave the country. Go to your bank or the airport. If you go to the bank, you may have to get it converted a few days because some banks need time, but get it because you'll get a better rate. So convert your US money here. And then this may be controversial, and it just depends on, your finances.
It's my last day on my holiday. I spent 30 days on my MB1 day.
Bali.
So y'all, tip number 10. Okay, so if you have any US currency, if you have at least $20 outside of the money you need to get back to the airport, US currency is very, very valuable. Well, it's kind of tanking in value, but it's still valuable around the world. A lot of these countries, literally $1 or $5 US goes a long way. So at the end of your trip, I can't tell anyone what to do. But if you have some US currency, say you got $20 worth of random ones, fives, I would say go somewhere where the poorest people are and give it away. I'm not saying throw money. I'm not saying give $100, $200, but it's the little money you'll have balled up in your purse. Your currency, like your Balinese currency, when you come back to the United States, is not really going to be worth anything. So bless the people in that region. These are regions that economically they thrive off of tourism. So I like to go to some of the, poorer corners and just offload the cash. And it's not a lot. It may be $20 or $10 US currency. And they are so happy. Like, people will cry. It makes you want to cry to be like, oh my God, this makes them happy. I want to go to the ATM and get more. And I try to give away. I keep 1 or 2, currency from each country to frame. But then I'll give away anything left, because converting, 100,000 rupees, once you get back to the United States, it's only like $3. So it's just one of those things. I always say, bless the nation that blessed you. Hey, oh my days. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Kate. Hey, y'all. So that's another tip. And I just believe, you get out what you put in life. So that's small. It's no need to hoard the money like celebrities do, sit on billions and tell us before. Like, just offload the currency that you have, because a lot of times when I travel to Asia and come back to the United States, if the bill is not a certain denomination, it may be too small to even convert, because if it's less than $1, they don't convert. So you're like, it's just sitting there. So you may have money that's Balinese currency, and then it looks like a stack of money, but when you go to the bank, you're like, man, this is worth $2.21. It ain't even worth it, but it could go so far to bless the locals. So I say offload, keep what you want for souvenirs, but if it's small, offload the money. If you have a few US dollars, like a $20 bill, break it down to ones and give it to all the poor kids. Like, you will make those kids cry, like literally. I always say you get out what you put in. So bless the country, bless the nation, show love. Let's not be like celebrities who hoard money, rap and sing about how much money they have, but they don't ever share anything. Because, we all know those numbers are fictitious. Y'all, now this, another tip number, what tip we on? Oh, on 11. As far as language barriers, use Google Translate. And I learned this in Asia because, the letters are like Arabic in Bali, the Balinese language. And in Thai, it's like the symbols. So you literally can download Google Lens and you turn on your camera and put it on top of it, and it'll translate things. And that's good for like reading labels. Because you may, get some sunscreen, or you may want to buy something and you need to see what it is to make sure, it's not something you're allergic to or just something that you wouldn't jive with. And I learned this at the airport in Thailand when I saw a girl, she was looking at something I had and she put her camera to it and it showed up in Thai. And I was like, hold on, what is that? It's Google Lens. So Google Lens is amazing, and Google Translate, whenever you do something, you could turn on the microphone. So once I did that, I was a Balinese queen because I was talking to people in the Google Translate, hit the play, and then it's in Balinese. And every time I did that at the Intercontinental, all the people who worked there started crowding around me because they would hear Balinese, but they would see me. So it made people more intrigued. So the complimentary little ginger, lime, honey drink, when you come to the resort, they always give you a complimentary non-alcohol, but just like a refresher. Man, I had so many of those. I had so many appetizers because they appreciated me trying my hardest to communicate with them in Balinese. Because I'm like, I'm not in the U.S. When you are in Rome, you do as the Romans. When you're in Bali, when you're in Thailand, you do as they do. So I try to have a healthy respect for the culture, and that makes people more receptive to you. Tip number 12, y'all. This one I learned on accident. Whenever they tell you to go somewhere, it's a tourist trap. What you do is walk down the street, because it's a tourist hub. There's tons of shops. Just walk down the street, and I try to go to the shops that are not getting a lot of attention. The shops that's the underdogs, the empty ones, the little ladies that's not in the mix. And when I tell you, you get so much love for going to the shops that's not like directly in the hub. And then literally one of the ladies at the dress shop, she was in there and she was like, hold on, I'm hold up the curtain, try on this dress, try on this. I mean, we had her laughing. I told her I wanted a robe. She was like, well, come on, I'm your auntie, I'm your TT. Girl, we went to go negotiate that robe. The guy said 180,000. She gave him the look, rolled her eyes, and that's 180,000 rupees, which is like $15. Roll her eyes, and he apologized profusely, slashed it in half, and then I ended up getting 2 for that price. I was like, so I would always say, go off the beaten path, because they'll take you like the taxi drivers. They have deals with different shops. Kind of like if your homeboy or homegirl, had a tourist company or taxi and you got a store. Naturally, you're going to be like, well, bring your tourist to my spot, which is cool. But I would say you don't have to go far, but go off the beaten path to the shop that isn't popular. Because all the shops have the same robes, the same dresses. So support the even smaller ones, and those people will show you so much love. Oh my goodness, so much love. I mean, literally, I'm in there, she making me try on stuff, spin around. She was like, you need some water. We've been in here an hour. You need to, here, let me slice up some bananas. Super kind, super kind. But if I would have went to Yuba at the city central where it was like a swap meet, like it was like a stock market, 100, 200, 300, I had sensory overload. And for me, personally, I hate to be haggled. And I'm very firm and resolute. So once I make up my mind, when someone tries to change my mind, I dig my heels in even more. Because now I feel like a personal offense. Like, you heard me say this was the border or parameter or boundary, and you keep pushing. So now that's disrespect. So I don't like to haggle. And I tell people, give me your honest price, because if I walk away and then you discount it, that shows me you have no integrity. Just give me your honest price. Because if I like it, I'm going to buy 5 or 10 of them. You don't have to hustle me on one bag. So when people, it's, $20 US, and then you like, never mind. They're like, okay, 7. I'm like, so you were willing to rip me off $13 differential instead of just doing good business. So I support people who are not hagglers. But that's my personal thing. Some people don't care. I hate to be haggled. The last tip, y'all. This one is important. Y'all, the last tip, when you get ready to travel, when you take time off from your job, by all means necessary, don't tell them where you are going. Just say staycation, block them off your social media. Because I hate to tell y'all, everybody ain't happy for you. And a lot of people are very miserable at work. Very miserable, including your boss, including your superiors. So when you start taking super exotic trips, they get really nasty. I had a real life example. When I was working as a DA, I took a vacation. I went to Thailand, Italy, the Amalfi Coast, and East African Yacht Week, Seychelles. It was 15 days, 5 in each one. So we did 3 continents. So we was getting it in. When I came back, everyone in that office had said I was being overpaid. My boss had demoted me. I had to pretend to be sad because he demoted my position but not my pay. So in my mind, I'm like, this dude is slow. He's literally giving me less work for the same salary. I'm not mad. But literally, unfortunately, it be your own people. People are very jealous. People are not happy for you. People want to know how she got that money. Like, people be super haters. For this trip right here that I took when I came back, two of my clients didn't pay their legal bill. Yeah, so they was like, "Oh, you seem like you're doing good." People, unfortunately, everybody's not happy for you, and I hate to say it, but it be your own people, very crab in the bucket mentality. Because oh, you can't do that, you can't do that, and then you go do it, and then you got the nerve because y'all know how when we travel, we be looking good. You know, you gotta pull out your threads, baby, pull out your jewelry, and all your exotic pieces because you overseas, you can have fun, but people at your job now feel like you pay too much, even though it's none of their business. So learn from me. Like I used to be all generous with information, just thinking everybody had a good heart. No, they don't. No, they do not, and they are not happy for you. And that same time when I was working as a DA, y'all, and y'all know I'm honest, I hated working for Fulton County District Attorney's office. Connie Willis is indicative of how that office is run, ghetto and ratchet. They hate professionalism. They were bullies. They were mean. Oh, you think you're right? Just because I show up to work on time and look nice and be professional, that triggered them. Any trip I took, oh, she getting paid too much. Like they were the most rancid, caustic, reprehensive, jealous-spirited, envious people I had ever met in my entire life. And for me, when I worked for jobs, I was never that invested in people I worked with beyond, key, maybe at a lunch or something, but I didn't hang out with colleagues. I was like, I ain't gonna let y'all know what my real life is like so y'all can be upset. So learn from me. Do not tell them. And that includes your family group chat. Because you drop some of your pictures from abroad, the group chat will go quiet. So I'm not saying you have to keep it a big secret, but just be aware that everyone isn't always, rooting for you, sadly. So you may want to just keep it with your tribe, kind of clean up your social media so your job doesn't see it. Because people really be salty, especially miserable people. If she home taking care of a Dusty and you on your fifth trip, she mad. Because she got to go buy them Jordans for Dusty and you over here in Cabo, Mexico, Jamaica, Bali, Singapore, all of that, getting it in. And with traveling, another question that comes up, one of my friends and I, we always talk about this. Do you book the flight first or the hotel? I always say book your flight first because the time difference and the hours of the flight, like you're changing time zones. When I say it's so confusing, because you'll leave one day, like I left Bali, I think September 5th. I didn't land back what was it? I left Bali. It was either I came back in time, I left Bali like on the 5th and got back to the United States on the 4th. It was really bizarre. And flying to Singapore, on paper, it looked like it took 3 days, but it's because I went through like 5 time zones and they're 12, 15 hours ahead. So it's confusing, like when to get the hotel. So I always say book your flight first so you can see when you land because the time differential, time zone, and 20, 30 hour flights are confusing. Ooh, excuse me. And don't forget booking the flight. Usually when you fly domestically, we don't like cheap flights. And for me, I don't do layovers at all. If I'm flying in the States, I just need a direct flight. I don't have the patience. But flying abroad, get the long layover. I've had layovers in Seoul, Korea, Bangkok. I've had layovers in Dubai twice. I had a layover in Seoul, Bangkok, Korea, Dubai. Where was my other? Oh, I had a layover, 48-hour layover in Istanbul, Turkey. And even though Turkey is a beautiful place, that's not somewhere on my radar for travel per se. So definitely, so your coworkers and your colleagues, they'll see you do that first landing, and then they got an issue. Like I remember one time I was working for a firm, and I didn't tell them where I was going. And my boss had just took his kids to the Caribbean. He always take them to the Caribbean, for their spring break. I think they went to Dominican Republic or somewhere, just some vacation you want to take them to the Caribbean. And I'm super excited, loving the pictures. But when he saw the Dubai picture, y'all, the first picture I posted on social media when I landed in Dubai, he sent me a message like, you and all that. It was, when I say it was the weirdest, And I'm like, sir, you own the firm. You're a millionaire. You pay my salary. But when I came back, I had so much work. He was like, you need to do this, do that, just nasty. And I knew what it was. Everyone is not happy for you because generally at the office, everybody want to be the top dog. So let them be the top dog. Y'all stay under the radar because when people think you ain't got it, they're more, cool or friendly. But it's just strategic planning. Strategic planning. My whole trip, flight included, everything was less than my rent and bills in LA. So my family, oh, she balling, she don't need no help. I'm like, what? I saved for over a year for this trip, planned for 2 years, found the best deals, and managed to spend less than I spent in LA in 1 month abroad. But people were salty because when you travel and when you do things, we become a mirror because everyone, makes plans. Everyone has goals to go places. But the truth of the matter is most of the time, 90% of the people ain't going to do it. They just will not. But they'll be mad at you for, putting on like a Google alert. You could put on a Google alert for a flight tracker. And whenever your flight to, I don't know, Fiji, Bora Bora, somewhere exotic, goes on sale, because everywhere you want to go in the world goes on sale at least once. You could turn on Google Alert Flight Tracker and it'll email you to be like, hey, ta-da, flights to Dubai on sale for $420 for the next 3 days. Or, flight to Fiji is $100. But you were not 100. But flights to Fiji, I don't know, $1,000 as opposed to $3, but put on your flight tracker. I literally one time was stressed out in California and I was like, man, I had just moved. I'm like, my money is tight because once you move, you get your furniture. I'm like, whoa. And I had took a trip to Cabo and people in my family, oh, well, she don't seem like she's struggling. Y'all, my trip to Cabo was less than $100. I randomly got a flight tracker deal and it was like a flight for $30 from LA to Cabo. And at first I'm like $30, but then I'm like, oh, it's bet this is Delta. Then I got on Groupon and clicked in Cabo, found the resorts. It was like $15 for the 5-star resort. I'm like, dang, I get to the resort, everything included. I said, ain't no way I just came to Cabo for $100. And people mad talking about she always doing the most. She said this and she seemed like she doing okay to be. Like literally traveling, all it takes is just doing the research on the front end. But y'all know how people like to listen to a click or a bait instead of just reading, doing their research. Get on Groupon, put in a resort for that area, do the flight trackers, you can get deals. And when I was living in Atlanta, once a month, me and my girls, literally, we would do like this spin the globe, and we would find the cheapest flight in the country, and we would fly there and spend the weekend. We went to like Utah, Nevada, and these aren't like Spirit Airlines, just random flight deals, on the preferred airlines that we like. But you in the US, when they're not selling flights, they want to at least get some bodies in to, they're like, look, we'll make some money off of them checking a bag or something. But we went to like Utah, Nevada, Arizona Springs, and we made it a thing to do these trips for like $100. So it doesn't have to be expensive for you guys to enjoy luxury at all. And whenever you go somewhere, find that 5-star resort, find that 5-star situation, and literally be like, okay, I'm gonna go have breakfast, lunch, a cocktail, go see a show, look on Groupon, and navigate it. And with the nice resorts, they don't put commercials out, but if you tell them like, hey, I never came here, I wanted to check it out. A lot of times they'll give you a tour, they'll roll out the red carpet, and you live in this 5-star lifestyle. People salty, mad, jealous, and they can do it too. They just didn't take the fortitude to do a little bit of research. People will tell you it ain't possible and won't read anything. That guy got on social media and lied about child support and the tax credit and got 12 million hits. People hyperventilating on the internet, but no one took one moment to Google it to see that he was lying. So much so to the point where he had to come back and say, I made up a lie. I said Trump said this, da, da, da. No one even researched it. So y'all, do your research. Do not be afraid to travel. Don't limit yourself. Wherever you want to go, you put that flight tracker, you find the resort, and I would say literally you can luxuriate. Make sure the resort has maybe all-inclusive or breakfast included, so you're not spending a lot of money on food. And of course, you're going to go to restaurants and try it. But it's nice to be able to come back to your resort too, because sometimes you're tired. Like when I went to that rice field, when I came back to the resort, I felt like I had just climbed Mount Everest. In addition to my dogs was working because my feet were done. When I said I put on a swimsuit and went and sat in the pool at the pull-up bar, that guy said, "You need a drink." I said, "I don't drink, but I might need a drink." I told him about me getting stuck in a rice patch, and he was like, "You went to the rice patch with flip-flops?" He was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna comp your bill." So he comped my bill. He was like, "Oh, I empathize." I said, "I ain't even mad though, because I had so much fun." And he's like, "You in good spirits?" People would complain. I said, "It was my fault. I can't be mad at anyone." And it still was beautiful. I had a good time. So it started raining on the trail and everything. Y'all, when it started raining, I was dancing in the rain. Some hikers saw me and they was like, "You got a good spirit." I said, "We out. I'm thousands of miles away. I'm gonna be upset about rain. Maybe just let some of this chocolate rain down on the right path." So I had a blast. I had an amazing time. So it doesn't have to be expensive. And all the 5-star experiences, you could spend one day if your coins allow. You can go have breakfast, have lunch, go have champagne. And a lot of the 5-star resorts abroad, they'll have different shows for their culture, like Asia and like Thailand with the Thai dancers and geisha dancers. No, geisha dancers Japanese. I forgot what they're called in Thailand. With the Balinese dancers doing the traditional dance. So you get to see a show. You can get you a little tapas, enjoy. I love asking about the history of the resort. When I was in Thailand, I met some young men who were studying hospitality, and they started telling me about how they intern at different resorts every summer. So they told me about some things I didn't know, like, oh, that resort has kayaking, this one has mountain climbing. So I made a whole list and went to the different resorts. And I never ever, I operate with integrity, try to sneak. I'm like, "Hey, I heard that you guys have this. Is it available for people who are not patrons of the hotel?" And it's not like the US where it's like, "Oh, you must be staying here." They're like, "Yeah, you're welcome. You can go mountain climbing. It's a fee, blah, blah, blah." And it's so easy to navigate. Being kind, and also in the US where sometimes it ain't always fun to be the only Black person. When you're abroad, most people who work at those places in hospitality love seeing Black people because they're used to kind of people of other races, unfortunately, being very rude. Like in Bali, a lot of the Asian men were very rude and snooty. Like the ladies will greet them with the bow, kind of the hands like a prayer hand. And imagine someone saying, "Hello, welcome," and just a gang of men just walk past you, nose in the air. And I was like, "Oh my God." These people are standing at the door greeting people with a bow, and I would watch a white person walk past them, nose in the air. I come in, they greet me and I do the same thing. Mom, thank you. Your country is beautiful. Next thing you know, my suite go to a luxurious penthouse suite. I got a private, but I'm like, "Wait, I ain't paid for this now. Hold on, y'all ain't about to. Wait a minute, I know what I paid for. It wasn't this." They said, "No, we're gonna put you beachfront. We're gonna put you on a penthouse," because of just being kind. So when you travel, they're looking at you kind of like aspirational because you're a Black person, unambiguously Black with melanin, you living good, traveling good, tipping good, and you're being kind. Whereas sometimes, at least in Bali, the individuals from Asia, specifically Singapore, I don't want to say all of Asia, but I've noticed the tourists from Singapore are very rude. And the white tourists, I don't know where they were from, so I can't say, but it was a common theme. And I noticed that when I was sitting in the lobby of the Intercontinental having my refresher, these women got these beautiful garbs on, and I noticed they greeted everyone. And no one would speak back to them except Black people. And you could kind of see them being deflated a little bit because it's their job. And I remember I went and translated in Balinese and told one of the girls, like, "You are so professional, so kind, so beautiful. You're not, getting frustrated." And I just was like, "I see you. I see your kindness. I see how gracious you are. I'm appreciative." She looked like she was about to cry. I didn't expect that, but I was sitting there and I was getting mad. Like, why are these people turning up their nose? So just being polite, and they see a Black person, they'll talk to you because they're like, "What do you do for a living?" It's aspirational, and these are things they couldn't do with other people. When I was at the Intercontinental, some of the white people got mad. I had like 5 or 6 servers coming over. "You need anything? Miss Robinson, you need anything? You need anything?" Literally. And it was all because I was meant extremely kind. By the end, I'm like, "Bye, Alvin. Good luck with your business exam. Bye, Sue. Have fun learning French." Like literally building a rapport. They're giving me little Balinese trinkets and this and that because we had built a rapport. It's not like you're my servant. I'm, better than you. Because when people travel, they get real turned up. And for me, I grew up with blue collar family. I'm not with that. I wasn't raised that way. I was not raised that way. I grew up very modestly. And, I had people in my family own the trash truck, were janitors. And it never was conceivable in my mind to be rude to people. So sometimes you could tell when you travel, even with like the cleaning staff walking down the hall, they're good morning people ignore. I'm like, good morning. I'm all friendly. Let me tell you, a warm good morning, I'll come back in my room, it'll be like 10 bottles of water instead of the one, a whole basket of the chocolates. Just from me being like, good morning to you, beautiful. Like, just being your normal self. Like, don't leave the country and be like, oh yes, my turn to be a superstar and be snooty. But being kind, baby, I got upgrades, meals come. You know how it is. The Intercontinental, they have Fiji water, sparkling water complimentary. They'll give you 1 to 2 hours. Man, I had a whole dresser full of it. That little one chocolate, they left me a whole basket. And the robe, I had like 3 robes. I'm like, I can only wear one. She's like, no, get the tan, the gray, the white. I'm on a patio in a different color robe every day. Just small things, but it goes far to treat people with dignity. And I think, just talking to some of the cleaning ladies down the hall, when I'm walking down the hall, asking her, like, well, what do you think is good here? They're like, you want my opinion? I'm like, of course, you work here. And they're flattered because people usually when they travel are so rude for no reason. So honestly, just being kind is so clutch, so clutch. So ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I wanted to share this with you guys as we go into, look, it hasn't even been a month and I am so tired of politics. Y'all know Court Chronicles, I'm an independent. I think all of them are trash. I think people are more committed to arguments than actual intellectual ideology, so I just don't engage. All these people are diehard passionate, but no one can name one policy. Because if they did, we wouldn't have the situation where people are shocked about Trump's doing this. Trump, like, he said it. So literally, as the United States rev up with this chaos, I would say, please travel abroad and have some peace. And I don't even know how to say this, but as a Black woman, we get treated bad with microaggressions here. That doesn't work in other countries. Like when the little white people try to microaggress, they'll walk past you, try to reach across your face. Let me tell you how people in Bali dealt with that. They would see it and they would move my table. They would put me up front. They would ignore the people who were rude and give me stellar service. And it was a very subtle jab to be like, no, ma'am. Traveling out the country as a Black person, you are a superstar because you are aspirational to a lot of people at these resorts. They can't always identify with the snooty white people or the snooty Singapore. And y'all know Singapore is one of the wealthiest. I think Singapore is what, the richest Asian country? Yeah, Singapore is like the Dubai of Asia, so they're super snooty, very colorist, so they hate dark skin. So when they see that people are trying to be rude to the melanated one that's been kind to them, it's subtle, but they check that behavior hard. They check it hard. Because it was one of them that was like, what makes her so special? And one of the servers looked at that lady and said, kindness. Whoop. I was like, did he just eat her up like that with one word? I was like, oh. And he was like, kindness. And continued, yes, this is what we have. Because I was like, I want a mocktail. And he was like, what's a mocktail? So I'm telling him the cocktail with no alcohol. He was like, you're on vacation, you need alcohol. So we talking, we laughing, literally, but he's walking me through the menu, telling me about the healthy mocktails and laughing because he thought the word was so cute. He thought it was so cute. One of the servers, he come out with sweet potato fries. I had told him how I like different things. He brought me out a flight of things to try, and not even on any, I'm trying to holler, but just she appreciates the culture. She's curious, not like, oh, I'm here, serve me. Because I usually am like, what's the most popular dish here? Can I try some of that? Like, what's your famous dish? Like, what's the dish that everyone eats? And just, wanting to learn more about the culture. Because usually at the restaurants, you will listen and people will be like, I want chicken fingers, fish and chips, which is all good because sometimes you need some carbs after you've been hiking. But I try to try some of the local food too. So they appreciate it. Hey, you at the work, girl. Look, I'm in the middle of my work. I can get back to it too once I log off. But I wanted to do a little travel break. So as the world goes crazy and everyone's fighting each other instead of realizing that the politicians are all on the same side, which is to create chaos. They call it controlled opposition. Because if the people are busy fighting amongst themselves, they can't really direct their attention on the appropriate things. Now, our good brother Luigi was directing his attention on the appropriate things as far as the healthcare system in totality. He didn't come in the name of a party. He didn't come in the name of, some far out ideology. It was just a basic human right of healthcare being available for all constituents. They don't want people to collectivize. So the quickest way to divide people is to create a hierarchy, meaning someone's at the top, someone's at the bottom, and now they have to fight. So if we're fighting with our Latino white brothers and sisters, guess what? Their job is done. Imagine if we start fighting along race lines and class lines, and then everyone realized the politicians are playing us all. Because I say, won't you look up your politicians on transparency.gov and look at what their stock portfolio, holds. Most politicians are heavily invested in steel. Steel directly correlates with war. So yes, every time there's any war, they fiscally benefit on a personal level. Both Trump and Barack Obama are heavily invested in the steel industries. So any war that pops off, they make coin because weapons are made out of steel. Joe Biden has investments in the food industry. So grocery prices ain't going down. Trump's family made wealth off of real estate. So your rent will not get cheaper. All you have to do is research. But we like to listen to the sound bites from these political pundits on television and fight with each other. The enemy is the people running the country. And they have successfully created these superficial divisions along race and class and all of these things, political ideologies, and we can't even realize everybody getting shortchanged. Everyone. So I'm past the point of trying to wake people up. People are committed to fighting. People are committed to screaming about this, screaming about that. But I'm like, y'all, let's level up. Invest in travel. And invest with your stocks. Buy $5, $10 worth of stock in your favorite airline. Put your Google alerts on. Don't spend all your money in these corporations that don't mess with you. You don't need any more clothes. You don't need any more Jordans. You don't need any more designer. That stuff depreciates in value. But traveling the world are experiences that will be held with you forever. And I always say this, the most clutch thing in the world, like it literally will make you cry when you have friends all over the world. So when everything happened in 2020 with Black Lives Matter, I was overwhelmed with literally just emotion because I had people that I had met on journeys all over the world texting me WhatsApp like, hey, April, friend, are you okay? Please come to Canada. America looks crazy. Come to Dubai. Imagine watching all of those protests, everything, and you get 20, 30 texts from people all over the world. April, come to Saudi Arabia. You can stay here. It's no problem. Don't literally my friends in the Middle East was like, don't watch the news. Come here. You'll be safe. Come here. Don't do that. Attorney I met in Jamaica lives in Canada. She's like, come up here for a month. You're more than welcome. I have a guest house. It literally made me overwhelmed with emotion because, sometimes you'll forget the people you travel. And I had opened my WhatsApp and I see all these messages, people from France, from Dubai, from Africa. Like, you don't have to be there. Get out of there. Don't look at the news. Like, you don't have to deal with that. So super clutch. And Kay, you said, I need a better job. I'm in a racist area and I'm sure they're loving everything that's going on. And you know what, Kay? Get on Harvard EX, take you a class in your skill set, put it on your resume, and keep pushing. And the thing with racists, you have to remember, racists are insecure in their root. So they need to feel better than someone. My thing in life is whatever you want, you will get. You want to feel better than me? Cool. You know how many times people snub their nose and turn, just out. You don't look like a lawyer, sir. We're on a hiking trail in the middle of California. Am I supposed to have on a suit and boots and heels? But then 20, 30 minutes later, you hear them on the phone fussing like, I need a lawyer. And I'm sitting there laughing like, God, look at them. In this moment, they could have got quality service. I can answer that question down to the T. Would have did it on the house. But since they are better, let them operate in their ignorance. People who are racist are deeply insecure because they need to feel better. Give them that and make your coin. And you know how you disarm a racist, Kate? Agree with them. They'll be shook. You know, sometimes racism, well, people commit all these crimes. Yes, I agree. Criminals should go to prison. But I don't think you understand. No, I do. It's like you disarm, you take the wind out their sail. Like, listen, argue with yourself. Sorry, the reason you're a racist is because you are not at the status that you want to be in this country, and you feel like it's easy to punch down on someone. Because please understand, in regular codes, no one thinks I'm some, intellectual property international business attorney. No. Everybody think this is a poor girl. I think I even had one guy in the comments on a Chris Brown video called me a stripper, honey. He said, what loss? I said, baby, if I was a stripper, understand I would be a multi-millionaire and you would be one of the biggest in the audience. Please understand. Please. But it shows how when you are a beautiful dark-skinned woman, no one ever assumes intellect. People assume, oh, what community college did you go to for law school? Now, y'all know that doesn't make sense, community college and law school, but whatever. It's like literally people constantly want to feel better. And in their quest to feel better, they miss out on opportunity. Because the same people will call me a stripper will be like, well, do this and answer my question. Y'all, people be like, well, if you answer this, can you give me, if you can't answer this, answer my question. Y'all, mama ain't raised no fool. Court Chronicles don't give out free legal advice. I don't work for free. I don't work for free. They abolished that, 158, 160 years ago? In my family, we were born free. So I don't work for free. You can't gaslight, oh, you don't know, and try to argue me into free legal advice. No, look it up. Because the same comment that called me a stripper and a low-educated attorney has so many grammatical errors that I needed to do mental gymnastics to dissect what this dust bucket was trying to expose. Like, sir, if you're going to make an attack, please get your grammar, your punctuation together so I can understand the attack. I might get a little kiki. People always want to feel better, but y'all remember this. People don't hate down. Anytime someone like Kate, the racist, remember that. People don't hate down. And when you were hospitable to a racist, people feel bad. Sometimes when people start being super mean to me, I get super nice to the point where they feel crazy. Well, I'm like, okay, I understand. I get super nice to the point where they feel absolutely idiotic. And Kay, I'm gonna pray that what you get, God will restore tenfold. And even though you had to cash out your 401k, you know what? I'm grateful to God you had it in that moment to cash it out, to cover you and keep you afloat. Because there's some people who lost their job and didn't have a 401k. And by the grace of God, if you built it once, you will build it twice and twice as fast. Oh yeah, everywhere I go. Like when people, the first thing people say when I tell them what I do, you're not an attorney. I say, it's a felonious. You're accusing me of a felony. It is a felony to represent yourself as an officer of the court, medical personnel, or law enforcement, i.e. police officer. So are you saying I'm felonious? And then I'll ask, well, what about me made you just be able to reach the conclusion immediately within 15 seconds that I am not that? And I always ask, who the hell lies about a job that has this much work? Because if I could choose today, I would not be an attorney. Okay? All right, like who lies about having a bunch of work? Exactly, Kay. You didn't work for a year, but your 401k worked for you by the grace of God. Because that's how good God works. But honestly, I'm going to be honest. The most racist people I endure are Black people. Black people hate dark-skinned women with confidence. I was in a 7-Eleven, yesterday, went in to go get a cup of coffee. This girl comes in screaming behind me, hey, speaking to the manager. And also, I think it scares people how calm I am. Now, I have to be calm because y'all know Court Chronicles is a bit of a goon. But she thinks because she's a hood booger that she's going to intimidate me. I was so calm that the guy rung me up and he was like, you intimidate me with how calm you get me crazy. I said, no, because I let people operate in their ignorance. I said, she is crazy and ignorant, but she ain't dumb. I didn't do anything to this woman. Actually, when I walked in, somebody walking behind you, I held the door. And then I felt the door jerk and snatch. But anytime I go to that 7-Eleven, they spit on her. Oh, that bitch thinks she better. Yes, I do. You see how quick I disarm that? She thinks she better than us. Good. Yes, I do. You think it? I agree. Because my thing is, God is working on me to be a peacemaker, but I ain't no punk. By the time I get in my car, this girl is flicking me off, doing all these motions. And notice, I didn't say anything. I walked in, held the door. She jerked it open, screamed behind me. And it was just, I was like, listen, God. And I started praying. I said, God, you know who I am. Please intervene because you know who I am. And I am giving this girl grace. I'm giving her a lot of grace. But that's the energy. When I'm over here in the neighborhood, leaving work suited up, that bitch thinks she's something. I mean, it's anger. Then when I'm over in Beverly Hills, oh my God, you look beautiful. You look nice. Oh my goodness, you must work in an office somewhere. Totally different. So in California, I find that the most racist people are Black people. They hate Black women who are fit, who aren't ghetto, and walk with confidence. And y'all know me, I'm not going to be shrinking to make people feel comfortable. That's not me. Not arrogant, not haughty, but it bothers people to walk with a sense of assuredness. But you still keep it pushing, keep your head up, and also look like, now I know Martin Luther King said turn the other cheek, but that ain't me. So sometimes I have to pray, because out here in California, Black people are very racist. Especially like wearing my suit. Listen, they see me pull up in that Corvette, red Corvette, top down, sunglasses. After work, you got your little cherish that day, got your Sade playing. You go to the gas station, you get your little snack. You like, I'm about to shoot. Everybody mad. Oh, they think like all you did was exist. You didn't say anything rude. You were polite. And what I find with that genre of people, specifically in California, because it's not my people everywhere, but it's never had this experience in Atlanta, never in South Carolina. But in California, let me tell you, they hate seeing a professional Black woman coming. One guy walked up to me one time at a Starbucks and was like, sell your car to me. I said, sir, your energy is a little too hyped to be walking up on someone with a Glock who don't mind using it. He's like, oh, I'm a car salesman. I said, is that how you transact? I said, you don't intimidate me. You come off as weak, soft, feminine, zesty, and I probably will make you kiss my boot by the time I kick your ass. Don't ever approach me with that level of aggression. And I matched his energy. I said, fine, I'll sell my car to you right now. Show me your checking account to demonstrate that you have the funds to remit to purchase the car. I went to my car and said, here's the deed. Show me in your checking account. And I gave him the same energy. Oh, you're a gold digger. I said, sir, if I was a gold digger, I would go to the gold mine owners, okay? Yeah, I can't be around it. It's very low vibrational. Anything that you talk about that's like, oh, let's learn another language. Let's plan a trip. And I think what really triggered the girl at 7-Eleven, the guy who rung me up, he went to Singapore. And the owner of the store, her sister lives in Singapore. So we had been talking about Singapore for like the past week every time I come in. And we were just like, well, when are you going back? So I think that triggered her. And she wasn't going to come for the people who weren't Black. And she knew all them dusties, they hate Black women in California. So she thought, oh, such and such. And then she saw my disposition didn't change. I'm like, look, they see Valley Girl. I'm like, God has really worked on me. I'm like, because they do not know me at all. Old April would have dealt with that differently. But I was like, no, we call it the peacemakers. People don't hate down. I'm like, you walked in, you held the door, like, not even just something knocking, was, are you going in? And she snatched that door like she was going to pull it off the hinges. I'm like, okay, so she's slow too, so she's rebuffed by kindness. And I guess she wanted to be a man. I'm like, so really, you're going to try to pick a fight with me? You got your pants hanging off your booty? You already done lost the fight, girlfriend? And I ain't fighting nobody. I'm calling the cops, honey. I'm calling the cops. or neutralize the situation. That's it. I'm not doing that. I don't do that hood squabble. But every time I'm in certain areas in Los Angeles, I've even got to the point where, after work, you may just stop wherever if you see a spot you want. I am very strategic because of the extreme hate for Black people. Black men are vicious terrorists. They hate Black women. They slam doors in your face. They, like, literally, imagine you got your suit, you leaving work, and 7 people spitting on the ground and start yelling, F that B! And that's every single day. When I say it's like, I feel like I'm a whole different person, like a shell, because it's just like I've learned not to react to like nonsense. But these are the same people. If a white person walk in that store, or a white kid, they pull up their pants. Hey boss, hey boss, hey boss. I bother people by my mere presence, and I piss them off because I don't react. Hey big bookworm, hey boo. But don't let that discourage you. Okay, someone like you, if you took a trip, even though you're financially trying to build back up, it may be some crabs in the butt. How's she taking the trip? And she said they don't know you were on a Groupon, got to a flight deal, got this, amazing, deal. They only see your cute outfits, they see you at the beach, and they mad. Yeah, it's every day. Literally, I was FaceTiming with someone in my family, and by the time I walked into my house, she burst into tears. Like, oh my God, you deal with that every day? I was like, all day. Driving down the street, my neighbor tried to run me off the road. Like, Black men out here, they will try to run. When it's like literally, one of my neighbors, I almost said her name, but she's Jewish. Her boyfriend is Black. Me and her ran into each other out walking. My neighbor, I live right across the street from a hiking trail. So we ran into each other, struck up a conversation. Her boyfriend, when I first brought my Corvette to California, before he knew it was my car, oh, who drive this? We got money on the block. That's what he told the girlfriend. He saw me in front of the Corvette, F that B in that old car. She ain't nothing. That car ain't all, like, literally, notice I didn't say anything to this guy because he is a bandit with pink hair, so he already lost the battle. That's LA. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when I'm at the gas station, I'll look around and I'll wait because they'll come up to me. Well, is this your car? Angry. I'm like, who else's car would it be? Not yours. It's like when I say these are some of the most hateful, vicious, venomous bandits I have ever encountered, unfortunately. But it's made my temperament a lot calmer because you'll be popping off all day. So I just keep my little peace. Try not to let it bother me. But like, God, look, count my days until I leave LA, back to normal people. But the girl at the 7-Eleven just vicious. And she behaved that way because she was with a bunch of Black men, so she knew how they talk. They all laughing. I said nothing to these people. I ain't come in with my nose in the air. I always go to this gas station, get my little coffee, my little tea. Nothing, just normal stuff. But my mere presence pissed them off. So don't worry about the crabs in the bucket. They'll always be there. And you know what? They'll always be right there in the bucket. Miss K, you're going to be in Cabo, you're going to be in Jamaica, Thailand, and they still going to be in the bucket. Like, where's she at? Where's she at? Talking about, she used the 401k. How's she doing it? Trying to throw back your past, or if you have any financial issues in your face. Hey, that woman that stand alone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, I say no matter what,
Bali.
enjoy the world. Enjoy the world, y'all. Don't let it discourage you. People don't hate down. You don't have to react. And if you're pissing off people, be like, dang, I must be doing something amazing. And keep it pushing. I used to be a hothead, and then I realized, like, this is fruitless. When you argue with people like that, you validate them. When you ignore them, it's like, you can't get my attention. You ain't even worth it. Literally. And run it up. Because it'll be the crabs in the bucket at your job, in your neighborhood, and you'll be just trying to live your day-to-day life. Oh, and y'all, another thing, if y'all want to hear more about what I work out when I travel too, y'all know I'm a gym rat. So my thing is workouts all over the world.
So I made it to Bali. super, super.
So I love working out. So that's another thing. When I go work out at the beach and stuff, I'll run into other people on vacation that like to work out. So that's how I meet a lot of friends, because it's a certain type of person that be on the gym rat life in on vacation. I met some gentleman from Australia and New Zealand when I was in Thailand in the gym. And when I say one, I later learned they were super rich, but they was like, come with us, we rented a boat and we rented a private island. I'm like, wait, you can rent a private island? Is that a thing? Man, I had the time of my life. But it started because I met them at like 6 in the morning in the gym. And the guy, he was like, I guess we are part of the same family, because we the people getting up early to go to the gym on vacation. And when you're black and you tell them how old you are, they're like, what? Oh no, what? So that's always a conversation piece. But literally, I would say enjoy travel. Don't be discouraged. If anyone says you can't do it, that means you definitely can do it, and they just didn't take the time to research it. These resorts be fabulous. $30, $40 a night with breakfast included, infinity pools, excellent service. The most expensive part when you travel is the flight. But once you get out the country, oh, it's on and popping. It's on and popping. Once you get out the country, it's so affordable and you eat so good. You eat so good. And I'll let the Drury family, y'all tell me if you want me to do another travel blog. Because I was like, I want to do Singapore. I want to do Thailand, Singapore. I did not expect it, but Singapore had really good food. Like, sometimes I didn't expect it to be bad, but I didn't know they were known for food. But when I went to the Muslim district, what is it called? Kapong Glam? Let me tell you, man, I had for $5, I still think about that plate of food. I had the best food of my life. No, Thailand still got some good meals. But when I say this food was so good, I had to go back up to him and be like, are you sure this ain't beef? Because I'm telling you, I'm a vegetarian, and this might be meat. It's too good. He was laughing so hard. Like fried mushrooms, that's like, I don't know, like chicken. It was crazy. Rice and cabbage that's seasoned with all the Malaysian seasoning. And even the meal at the Four Seasons, it wasn't expensive, because I would have remembered. I don't even remember what it cost. So that tells you it was not expensive. And don't think Court Chronicles an attorney. But no. I'll be very budget conscious because I work for myself. Remember, I told you I went on vacation, and two of my clients, when I got back, was like, oh, you look like you good. Well, I'm trying to think. I can't even remember, because I think Caroline and I decided to split it because we was trying different toppings. I think I might have spent $18. It wasn't expensive at all. And I had like a lavender mocktail cocktail that was something really, really cool. Like every restaurant has a pool. You're overlooking the jungle or the beach. Look, the cocktails are like old school cocktail prices, $4 and $5 USD. Make sure you do your conversion.
And the pool is pretty much insanity. So I got the day pass to come, and I didn't even know they had like the meal included. So how fabulous. But check it out. It is paradise. It's in U-Bud. Girl, I'm hanging out here at this pool because I wanted to really do a fly ass pool. So you should consider getting a day pass and coming.
Oh, and another thing, y'all, let me warn you. When you travel abroad, if they ain't ever seen a black woman, please understand, when you at that pool, they all holding their breath because they want to see. They just curious. They think black bodies are beautiful, amazing. listen, by the time I pulled that cape off, I heard Arabic, French, like they just, because everyone around me was very small. And I'm small, but you know, our curves are packaged differently. When I tell you, at the pool, and I remember this one white girl, she kept talking to me about working out. She's like, you have abs. That's impressive. I was like, yeah, I'm a gym rat. So me and her was talking about fitness and everything.
Kakao, ada kopi, susu mati, vanilla coffee, and avocado coffee. Sorry, for the Bali coffee and cacao without sugar, yeah. If you like it, we have sugar.
Yeah, and my tour guide, FYI, was fine. I'm like, wait a minute, did I not notice he was fine when we were doing the tour? Because it was really fun. But get your life, because look, people gonna be mad either way, but they're gonna be mad at home behind their keyboard.
Okay, keep roasting the coffees.
Mama making coffee.
And y'all see my little Balinese outfits because I went shopping, y'all. I had to buy a new suitcase to come home. I purchased so much stuff. Yeah, as you can see, the progression of my outfits get more and more culturally in tune because I had got so much stuff. And literally, when you at the markets, the conversion be like $2, $5. It's not a lot, but I had to buy a new suitcase because I got those Thailand little genie pants, the Balinese pants, the little bralettes, and it was just very affordable. I literally, that's it. I said, I have to buy a suitcase to come back home. Oh my goodness. And then I got a lot of stuff for my family I sent out. So, but still did not spend a lot of money because I always set a budget for shopping. But once you get there and you see how cheap things are, you're like, wait a minute, this stuff $2, $3. Like, oh my goodness. And my hairstylist told me to just take a carry-on and just buy everything there. She was right. I should have did that. Because you will spend if you spend $100 in Bali and Thailand, you're gonna need 3 suitcases because the stuff is so affordable. That orange bikini I got on the beach in Karangastan. That green cape I ended up buying on the beach in Thailand. That little red outfit, I ended up getting that in blue and red in Bali. And I think I ended up getting 2 lime green bikinis since the lime green bikini was such a hit. I was like, let me get another one of these. So really, I was getting my life. So look, I would recommend if you going to Thailand, you might want to just pack super light. Because if you want to shop, look, you want to shop, and it's not like balling at all. Them little Thailand genie pants be $2 and $3. You could get your bags $5, like $100, and you literally gonna need a whole new suitcase to come home. Because I'm laughing, I look at my pictures starting from Singapore to Thailand. I'm like, I see the progression. By the end, I had on all like Balinese Thai clothes by the end. And y'all, let me just tell you, leopard swimsuit was a hit. Leopard overseas, you might need security. That leopard swimsuit was illegal. The manager was like, I heard about you at the pool and I wanted to come see for myself. But it's so complimentary, but it's not sexualized, you know, like it's wholesome, it's gracious, like it's an appreciation for the beauty without like the nefarious, lusty undertone. Oh yeah, you see the bottom there. The pool was crazy. The pool was crazy. Like the One in the Jungle pool, if somebody said, April, let's go to Bali right now, and we'll go to One in the Jungle, I'm like, cool. I'm not packing anything. Let's go. The temples were beautiful. If you do go to the temples, it's up to you. I would say just be respectful. I saw a lot of non-melanated women with their booty shorts hanging out. And I'm like, these are religious temples. So just kind of, be aware of that. That's why I even took my little white cape in case I went in some of them just to cover, I'm like, if somebody came to my mom's church, I wouldn't want them coming up in there with no booty shorts. So just kind of be aware of that. Because I noticed at the temple, some of them, like, I was like, whoa, isn't this a spiritual place? Y'all really in a little bit. And that's the one temple I couldn't go. And the lady got so mad. She's like, you're not going to follow our customs? I was like, no. I said, I'll take a picture, but I ain't bound to your statue, ma'am. And still enjoyed myself and still was polite. But she was like, I don't understand. I'm like, I'm Christian. I'm not going to do that. Y'all look at this big field that I had to hike through, y'all.
Indonesia.
with those flip
This is
flops.
beautiful. They've been using this irrigation system for thousands of years.
I'm like, that outfit looks so cute in the pictures. But if my feet could tell the story, my feet would be like, she abused me today. She did intentional infliction of emotional distress. I mean, as soon as I got back to my resort, when I say I changed and went and sat in, because it was like a cool pool and a warm pool, I went and sat at the warm pool by the pull-up bar. He looking like you all had a long day at work. I told him I went to the rice field. The bartender with flip-flops, he was like, "Oh no, you need a drink. You need a drink." I'm like, these pictures are cute, but listen, my feet was like, wow. I think that hike was like 4, 5, 6. It was slippy. It went 4 miles,
Hiking
7
through
miles, 10 miles.
the rice fields in Bali. I got lost on the trail, but I'm back on track. I can do it. Woo! It's so beautiful.
And that's when I finally made it at the top. And then at the top, a lot of these tours include meals. So it was a whole buffet. And Bali's a Hindu Muslim country, but heavily vegetarian. I say I ate so good. I ate so good after I finished the hike and abused my feet. And I had black rice pudding, something that was very different. And their fruit salads in Bali have exotic fruits like passion fruit and guava. Like it's different from our fruit salad. It's their fruit, so that was good. The buffet they had different types of rice, green rice, rice with veggie. I'm talking about all those foods making me hungry, and it was so good, and it was included, and I didn't expect that. And I was in the tour. I'm like, get out! This is a part of the meal. And they were so friendly, so kind. And everyone was laughing because I was like, my feet gonna lock me up for abuse because of the flip flops. And y'all already know by the time I got to Bali, my tan was popping. And y'all know Cork Chronicles. Once I hit the tan, it's done. Like at this point, once I got to the Wanna Jungle, the Green Cape, the tan, y'all know I be thinking I'm all that with my tan because the red undertones. Listen, I be feeling myself, baby. Woohoo! And in Asia, it's so different because people try to like wear big hats to cover the sun. And me, I'll do, a hat, just a little sun blockage, but I'm not hiding from it. So a lot of the Asian women were looking at me like, oh my God, listen. I'm like, girl, I'm already.
Susama!
And they was like, your skin's so pretty. I was like, that's because I ain't afraid of the sun. The thing you running from will make you beautiful. All fresh, all included. Beautiful customer service, just an amazing time. And when I tell you they'll come up to you, I don't know if it was just me being nice, but everywhere when people was like, let me get a picture, give me your phone, twirl around. And it's not like here in the United States, somebody say that to you, you're like, oh, they gonna run off with my phone. No, they genuinely like want to show off their country. Oh, y'all, this is the Intercontinental, one of their pools. They have 5 pools.
It's my last day on my holiday. It's been 30 days.
Bali. So literally, very nice resorts on a budget. Most of the resorts were under $50. The Intercontinental was the splurge. The splurge being like 100 and I think 115, which in the United States, 115, you're not going to get a nice hotel at all. And they were so kind. Everywhere I went, they was like, upgrade, this and that. Like super kind, super kind. And even Caroline, the girl I met, I told her to come have breakfast with me the next day because we was going to go to the pool. And, I like to do things above board. I was like, can my friend come to the continental breakfast? I don't like to sneak her. And they were like, sure. When I tell you, we went to the pool, we had like a bag full of muffins and scones that came in handy because at the pool, you know, you get the sun, you out there in that sun, you the music, you need it. When I say that bag of muffins came in handy, this white gentleman beside us was like, "Excuse me, ladies, I don't mean to be a bother, but may I have a muffin out the magic muffin bag?" We like, sure, because you need carbs, especially if you don't have alcohol or anything by the pool. By the time we finished, everybody was getting a muffin out the bag. And they didn't mind. It was like, yeah, take it when you go at the pool all day. You're going to need this. So it was amazing. And everywhere I ate, amazing. Like I had some of the biggest veggie burgers in life. You know, I need a vacation. I'm tired of America. Where we going, Court Chronicles? Where are we going? Right. Oh my days. You see the transition, right? I'm full blown by the end. I was Thai, baby. I was Sawadee Ka, Kung Ka, Ba. And you know, in Thailand, when they hear me speak that Thai, they like, hold up. In Thailand, they're like, wait. And I tell people how I learned Thai because one of my friends, her mom, used to watch the Thai stories. And I was living with them. This was in between law school. And I don't know, the storyline seemed interesting. I started picking up on some of the words. So they be shook. So they teach me more words. They're like, you speak Thai like a Thai person. I said, I learned it from watching Temptation Island in the soap opera. And I'll tell them the Thai soap opera. They're like, oh, that's a good one. I said, yeah, it's juicy. I was intrigued. So then they are really done. Once they hear me hit the Thai, they done. And once I got to Bali, someone heard me speak Thai, and I was his best friend in the world. He was like, let's go. I'm showing you everything. But oh my days, you see it, right? I'll turn into a full Balinese Thai babe. It's a progression. It started off so American, and by the end, I'm full Thai, jungle, everything. Fully committed. You said frame that photo in orange? Okay. I will. I want to do a travel wall in my house with just beautiful pictures. He said, frame the one in orange. I want to frame one I got in Thailand with the elephant too. So that's all I got, Jury family. Just a little travel inspiration, a little travel motivation. I mean, the Four Seasons, it really does not even look real. It was so pretty. And, you know, once we walked to the restaurant, we didn't know it was going to be open with that full jungle like that. So that's me walking downstairs. And I don't know if it's, you know, because that's at my back, but literally I was gasping, like in shock, like, when I say I didn't expect for it to be like, boom, beautiful jungle like that. I mean, I knew it was going to be pretty, but it was beautiful. And it wrapped all the way around. Food was delicious. And me and Caroline, we was feeling ourselves. My homegirl that I met there, we was like, let's just see how much one night is. No, thank you. They humbled us very quickly with that $3,000 a night. We was like, we just gonna have dinner. Because we was like, oh, this is nice. Maybe we should just splurge. No, now I see, and y'all see in the background, it's nothing but just, you know, people, and it's not even ageism, but it's people retirement age that were much older, living a good life, of course. But we noticed instantly it was nothing but like older people, maybe retired, enjoying themselves. And we was like, yo, let's make it a point to not wait until we retire. Like, let's have these experiences all throughout our life. Because it was beautiful, but it made us a little bit sad. Like, that show, we were the only younger people. Everyone 60, you know, most of them were older white people, clearly, you know, enjoying their vacation or retirement. But it inspired us to be like, let's make sure we live to the fullest. And y'all see the other bongs. I said, I don't know how I always ended up by those bongs when I was traveling, but I did. But it was beautiful, like open air. And this was the restaurant upstairs with the show. Then the guy, you know, we being friendly. I'm doing my little susama, my little Balinese lingo. We went down to the restaurant on the river because upstairs was the show. And we had little appetizers and things like that. Then we went downstairs to have dinner. And Caroline and I, we was gonna change and get dolled up, but we was like, we might as well since we're so close. Because it's like, you know, sometimes once you change, it's just all the plans change. We're like, we here, we peeped the Four Seasons. Let's go see what it's about. And they treated us so kind. I think they probably was just excited to, you know, just see some younger blood in the building. But it was amazing. Everyone was super friendly. And this white lady, as she was leaving out when we was downstairs, she was so kind, and she was like, girls, enjoy your life. And she said it's so wholesome, you know, just beautiful. Like everybody's in a good mood, on vacation, loving it. And also, you know, no one says it, but once they see the little chocolate drop at the Four Seasons, they're all like, what is going on? And Miss Oh My Days, in this picture, I don't know if you noticed, but on the ground, that bag also says Thailand. So I was fully committed. My beach bag from the US, from Los Angeles, was retired. Because my Thailand bag with the elephant, it reminds me of the Coming to America scene. Y'all remember the scene in Coming to America when Eddie Murphy first got to New York? And he went shopping and he got all the New York. He got like the hat, the scarf, the jacket. He had like the cup, all the New York. That was me. That was me. I had my Coming to America moment. I had all my Thai Balinese outfits. Thank you, Miss Court of Opinion. Thank you. I'm loving tapping in. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that's all I got. I just wanted to share with y'all. If y'all want me to share some more of my travel excursions, I have so many pictures in my phone. I never even thought to do that. If y'all want to hear more about Thailand, Dubai, Singapore, any of that, let me know. And I was recently thinking maybe Switzerland, because Switzerland low-key is one of my favorite countries. And it's not necessarily because it's, you know, Swiss Alps are beautiful, but because in Thailand has some of the nicest people. But Switzerland, I had never been to a country or people or that kind and that helpful in my entire life. Like very nice. Geneva, Switzerland. It's an international city, super amazing. And I went when I was in college. I debated for Model United Nations, and we went to the actual United Nations to do our debates. So we were sitting in the same place where all the ambassadors and the delegates to hold the conference. So I would love to share it. Like I lived in Paris for study abroad and went back and visited Paris several times. So if y'all want to see more of the travel, look, I never thought that's something I would share, but I would love to. I love to travel. And with the US going crazy, wherever you want to go, put your travel tracker, your Google Alert travel tracker for the flight, get on Groupon and start searching for hotels, and watch how the world open up. And don't forget, I gave 13 tips, but that number one hack, the cheap flights with the long layovers, your natural reactions. I don't want to do that, but don't forget, when you travel abroad, you get to score a layover in another country. So when we flew to Dubai, we were on Emirates, and then we had that 40, no, we were going. I can't remember if we were going to Italy to sail down the Amalfi Coast or if we were going to East African Yacht Week first. But either way, when we flew there, the layover, and then they put us in the hotel, we was like, hold on, did we just get a free in Dubai? Y'all, in 48 hours, you would have thought we was there 10 days. We rode camels, we went to the Mall of Dubai, we went to the Grand Mosque, Abu Dhabi. I met up with some friends who were prosecutors in Dubai. Like, we had a blast. And that was just one time. Now, the other time I went to Dubai was, you know, we planned it. But literally, most of the layovers be 48 hours in like Dubai, Korea, Bangkok. And those are the cheaper flights. So even if your gut reaction is like, no, I don't want that. Remember, traveling abroad is a nice way to weave in another trip. So thank you so much, jury family, for tapping in. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please hit the like button, because YouTube, I think I might be shadow banned. You know, every time I go in on those celebrities, it be looking real rough on the back end. It be looking really, really rough. So can y'all please hit the like button for a real one? Bless the Cash App if you would like to, or the super chat. Because YouTube is really playing with my top on the back end. They really are. Oh my days, jet setter. That's why I don't be worried when things go crazy. Literally, the resort that I stayed in Thailand sent me an email and it was like, no matter what happens in America, you're always welcome here. I'm like, not at my favorite resort, because if I'm welcome, I'm coming right now. I'll be there. I'm like, yes, I've been abused. I need asylum on the beach. I need international asylum on Thailand's beach. Yes, yes, yes. One of my friends I met at the Muslim temple, girl, I was talking to the Muslims and talking about, like, listen, I met so many people. Yeah, but that flight one, your natural gut reaction is to say no. One of my homegirls ended up with a layover in Iceland, and she was like, I never would have went to Iceland, and it was like the best trip ever. And remember, that'll be the cheapest flight. But low key, what they do when they do those flights that cheap is they'll put together, like, it'll be like Delta and KLM. It may be two different airlines kind of conjoining. Yeah, YouTube is tripping on the back end. Like, literally, it's like you can tell. And I mean, of course, people click on what they want to, but you look at things and you're like, something's off. Because even when you post, if you post something, you'll see views on just other videos. You're like, it's no views on nothing, not even the post. Like, that's not how the algorithm usually works. I'm like, YouTube is playing with me. But anytime I go in on celebrities and I call out pedophilia, they gotta slap my wrist. They want to hurt my YouTube coins. So I ask that y'all support the channel to bless me through the algorithm. The likes are free. It's a free way to support the channel. 7 words for the algorithm. You can literally type 7 words for the algorithm to get me in there. And let's just remind people, as the world goes crazy, we have options. It's not expensive. I don't give y'all all the hacks. All the hacks. Whatever you see on Groupon for a country, remember to go to Klook, Klook, the cheaper version.
And the pool is pretty much insanity. So I got the day pass to come, and I didn't even know they had like the meal included. So how fabulous. But check it out.
The pool is insane. Insane.
It is paradise. It's in you, but girl, I'm hanging out here at this pool because I wanted to really do a fly ass pool. So you should consider getting a day pass and coming.
Oh, so it's other people complaining about, yeah, and I mean, and it's like on the back end, it's like, it's really, sometimes it's disheartening, because I mean, I ain't like these other YouTubers, like these videos with 80, 100 slides, it look pretty, but it took me, 11 hours to do it all, put in the videos, and then you look at it and you make $2. And you're like, wait a minute, YouTube, like that doesn't even make sense. You're like, wait, I got 7 videos, I made $8, like, and it's not about the money, but you're just like, this doesn't make sense. So yeah, something's up with YouTube. I don't know if they're coming for Black content creators, but when I tell you, and I guess because I'm very raw, honest, YouTube be like, nope, no love. One video was like 75 cents. And I ain't no editor. I be working hard on my videos. It take a long time to put all these pictures and everything together. So just, hey, a free way to support the channel. Hit the like button, push it through the algorithm, drop a comment. And I recently learned or saw this on Shayna's YouTube, 7 words for the algorithm. People were commenting that because I think 7 words is the threshold. Just to kind of keep us, amplify.
Okay, keep roasting the coffees.
Mama making coffee.
Yeah, y'all know I thought I was Balinese with that little outfit on, with my tie pants, my Balinese shirt. I really was feeling it. Yeah, YouTube been tripping. Because I was like, I don't know. In my mind, I always just say people click on what they want to and when they have interest. But some of the things just didn't make sense. Because I was like, I know the jury family likes, hearing about these matters. And I'm like, are people not seeing it? And people will say, I didn't know you were posting again. I'm like, YouTube is tripping. So y'all have a beautiful day. Let me get my buns back to the office. Shout out to the jury family. Y'all spoke to someone on the jury family yesterday. Y'all, every time I talk to the jury family, y'all gonna make me cry. Y'all so smart, y'all so fly, y'all so intelligent, so amazing. Oh my God, behind the keyboard, like some brilliant women doing y'all thing. Like, ladies, I'm so proud of y'all. I'm always impressed. So y'all, let's keep running it up. Put your travel tickers on, and don't let these politics and things stress you out as we navigate. And if we need to plan a Court Chronicles trip, let me know, because I'll get the planning. And Court Chronicles, y'all can tell I like them exotic locations. Look, maybe we should go to Martinique. I talked with Jury family about Martinique because she said she had a nice time. Maybe we should go to Martinique. So somewhere where we can escape the chaos, and doesn't matter who you voted for or any of that, because at the end of the day, ain't none of the presidents put no money in my pocket. Last time I checked, my checking account still the same. And look, apparently Google is trying not to put no money in my pocket. Child, trying to make me listen. It works. They doing the most, honey. So thank y'all so much for supporting the channel. Thank y'all so much for blessing me back, welcoming me back after my hiatus. I'm so grateful for y'all, Jury family. Thank you for all the love. If you want to hear more about travel, whatever country, just, name some countries. I'll let you know if I've been there or not, and we can go there. But I'm thinking maybe Thailand, so y'all can see the elephants and the big Buddha temple, and maybe Switzerland, just because it was just cool. Switzerland was unexpectedly cool. So y'all let me know. But hey, traveling on a budget, it does not have to be expensive at all. Get that long flight layover. The 5-star resorts, go call, because usually they'll have a day pass at the pool. Because One Jungle, I think, is $1,800 a night, and I'm just not paying that now. Bay will pay that, but I'm not paying that. So you can get a day pass or go to their restaurant and really enjoy. I love you so much, Jury family. Please, please, bless the like button. Y'all have a beautiful evening. Much love. Court is officially adjourned.
Bali, Indonesia. This is beautiful. They've been using this irrigation system for thousands of years.
Hiking through the rice fields in Bali. I got lost on the trail, but I'm back on track. I can do it. Woo. It's so beautiful.
Susama.
It's my last day on my holiday. It's been 30 days. Intercontinental. It's a beautiful hotel. I mean, it's stunning. And I just wanted to do my last walkthrough to capture kind of the beauty of everything. I'm talking like I'm on a travel vlog. That's for my personal. The hotel is beautiful. It's a huge resort. It's like our restaurants and spa. It's beautiful. Can't even find them playing the piano. I guess the piano for decoration, or maybe the professionals. But just showing how beautiful this hotel is as I get ready to.
Bali.